A sorcerer is nothing but a con man. These are the words that really do seem to embody so much of the universe of Jujutsu Kaisen, ranging from character development to power system. But I think it's important to note that this does leave a lot of opportunity for us to explore possibilities within their world. Most in particular, there is one key way that the sorcerers could have won the Shibuya incident. But before we get into that, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so I can keep bringing you more anime content. For much of Jujutsu Kaisen, sorcery is always in flux. There are various factors to consider that can constantly raise or lower somebody's standard in battle or just in general. Because of that, saying that there is one strategy that could have won is a bit of a bold take, but I think while there is many ways that characters could have gone differently, this one would have probably made the largest difference, and I think the series provides a lot of evidence for it. That simple idea is, they should have worked in teams. Now you're probably going to say, but they did work in teams. They are split up into teams when the incident begins. Yes, but not effective teams. For a team to be effective, they need to be cohesive, well-trained, and have familiarity with each other to be able to pull off an attack. That is not what we got at the beginning of the Shibuya incident. They split characters up based on what I saw ranking more than anything else. I think they did it so they could judge the first grades, well, who were going to be first grades, as well as try and spread around some of their more talented sorcerers so they would be in different locations, which isn't a bad strategy, but it leaves you extremely vulnerable in an instance where they would actually have to fight. The reason for that can be seen effectively. We see constantly in the Shibuya arc that because the characters felt the need to split up, they ended up fighting in one-on-one or occasionally one-on-two battles. The only one-on-three battle is, Dagon versus Maki, Naobito, and Nanami, and while that battle is very good, it required intercession from other people to actually resolve, and it still didn't actually resolve all that well considering what happened after the fact. So why could working in teams work better? Well, here's my line of thinking. It's not just that you would need teams, you need teams that are familiar enough with each other to pull this off. Now, truth be told, I wouldn't want to necessarily alter Shibuya Incident too much, although there is a possibility I would do a video in the future about what would happen if we did split them into teams. But I think the best teams you could end up with would be to pair Yuji, Nobara, and Megami together on a team, and then go right ahead and pair Maki, Inumaki, Nobito, and Nanami together. Now, I think that leaves Kusakabe and Panda to join Mei and her little brother. This is all the same characters, we're not adding anyone, and it still allows the Kyoto school to come in as reinforcements. But if you really think about this arrangement, it works so much better. The main team, Yuji, Megami, and Nobara, are more effective together. They have worked together constantly. We see that even, Megami and Yuji can work very effectively together. And to be honest, I wouldn't even have them split into these teams right away. I would say that they should all merge together post Gojo getting sealed. Because a lot of the story is set up very well. I think it would happen that way. I just think when it hits the fan, these are the teams that kind of should have coalesced together. And that's a big deal, because if you really think about it, I am a firm believer in the fact that Megami and Yuji and Nobara working together could have very easily beaten, Mahito. I know that's not a popular thing to say, but I think that those three together own him hard. So, and when you scale that, think about this. Maki, Nobito, and Nanami all did fairly okay against Dagon. I mean, he was only just awoken, and they were kind of at a disadvantage. But if you add Inumaki into that, especially if he's already squared away the civilians, let's put it this way. He pretty much takes care of Death Swarm. His ability, we already know, is fantastic at dispersing large groups of weak enemies. Shikigami are traditionally pretty weak, as we see that they can fend them off, even though they're constantly getting hit with it. His ability pretty much neutralizes that. It won't neutralize it for long, but that gives Nobito and Nanami more than enough time to put the hurt on Dagon, and let's be frankly honest, we have no reason to think that even in this arrangement, Megami, Yuji, and Nobara still don't end up going by them, or that, Toji won't end up getting drawn to that massive conflict anyway. So it still resolves in much the same way. Keep in mind, Toji did not need Megami to get in there. We know you can punch your way into a domain expansion. All that being thrown together, teams would have worked out much better and probably would have allowed the sorcerers to win the Shibuya incident. Now, maybe not completely, because it's hard to say against Pseudo-Gato, but that's a different conversation altogether, isn't it? Let me know if you think these teams could have won in the comments below. Hey, if you're still here, I just want to let you know I have a Patreon that you can go ahead and subscribe to help support the channel.